Hi, I'm Jake, and here's another edition of Comics Off My Wall, and today we're going to start delving into a four-part series of the X-Men VS The Avengers. I just want to jump right into the story. It's very easy to follow like the Avengers movies. The one reason why I wanted to go specific to this is there are new movies coming out for the Avengers in the Marvel Universe, and I just wanted to get through this, let you all know what this series is about. It's a very, very cool series. And first what we start off with is the Avengers are at Kmart. They've shown up in their big jet. There's She-Hulk, and they are clearing out the area. There's some kind of major catastrophe that's about to happen. Captain America gets everybody to kind of get out of the area, and then from there they go to space, and you see that Captain Marvel, who is a female, I didn't know this, and Thor are blowing up asteroids. For whatever reason, there's some kind of asteroid attack, and the Avengers have, from their scanners and stuff, knew that this was coming, and so they were able to show up and get rid of all the asteroids. And from there, it's kind of like a three-part. That's the end of kind of the first bit, where the Avengers have shown up. They're dealing with this meteor strike. They don't really know what's going on, but what they do know is at the end of it, the asteroids have some kind of metal in them. There's She-Hulk, and she has some kind of problem picking them up. She can still like pick them up like nothing and throw them like the Hulk, but she notices that she's having trouble, and what they find out is they're very electronically, or magnetized. They're extremely magnetized. And from there, they go straight into the next catastrophe, where in the Soviet Union, this one I had to kind of look because I didn't know who these people were. They're the Soviet super soldiers. There's a dude that is Vanguard, who he can use a sickle and a hammer to put a kinetic energy against whatever coming at it. So for whatever reason, all of the train tracks in this field, in this train station, have started going haywire. And there's the Soviet people, the Soviet super soldiers. They are there, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. They're able to stop it. They have to stop a few fires and stuff. And while they're doing it, somebody named the Crimson Dynamo, who is basically the arch nemesis of the Soviet soldiers, and it turns out that he showed up not to fight these guys. He showed up too because he knows that there's a meteor and there's some kind of magnet problem going. So pretty much across the whole world, everybody who's a mutant or a superhero is kind of knowing that there's something going on. And so we cut to the X-Men. And the X-Men, like, you can see I have a lot of X-Men comics. The X-Men are doing what the X-Men love to do. They're on vacation. They're hanging out at a lake. There's Storm, there's Wolverine, and there's Magneto, which I thought was kind of weird. But from what I can get, like I said, it doesn't go into the lore too much, but Magneto at this point is hanging out with the X-Men. And what happens is let me just see really, really quick. Magneto, he kind of walks off on his own. Everybody's kind of at the lake, just kind of chilling out. Wolverine's over there drinking his beer. Storm swimming, everybody's swimming, but Magneto, he goes off by himself. And he goes into their plane, I forget what it's called, but he goes into his plane, and he hears on the radio that there's these magnetic meteors. And for whatever reason, this really intrigues Magneto. Magneto puts a energy around himself and he bounces. So all of a sudden, while the X-Men are sitting there enjoying their vacation, the alarm system goes off for their X-Wing. And so they go in there, and Wolverine explains what had just happened. He saw that Magneto just went flying off. He's going, I came in here, I checked what he's doing. There's some kind of meteor with metal from Meteor M, which you might want to look that up. It's basically Magneto's, it was Magneto's base in space while he was being super, super evil. And so they know they gotta find Magneto. They know that he's left for something not good, right? So they put on their uniforms. Everybody was in bikinis and vacation gear, and they realize they've got to go and see what this guy's up to, because obviously they're the ones keeping tabs on Magneto. So we go back and let's see here. We go back to the Avengers. The Avengers are sitting there in their base and they're talking, and what they've been revealed is that there's magnetic meteors that are coming from Magneto's old base. They're being fed down from space for whatever reason. They assume that it's Magneto, that he's doing something, but the Soviets leaked to Magneto where this last meteor is going to land. So they know, the Soviets know that Magneto might still be a threat, and they are baiting him. They're making him come out so that they can attack. And you're going like, that's kind of messed up. But they go through the crimes of Magneto. Magneto was not cool. They even went through, let's see, in X-Men 1, he tried to take over the Cape Citadel missile base. He's threatened nuclear war. That's what the Avengers, they're sitting there talking about all of the things that Magneto has done. The Soviets have sent down messages to the Avengers saying this is what Magneto has done. He hasn't answered for any of this. The X-Men, for whatever reason, are protecting him. We want him out in the open so he can pay for his crimes. So they explain that that's what's going on, and they go back to Magneto, and he's heading to that last piece of the meteorite. And before he can do anything, Captain Marvel, boom, she shows up. She goes, you need to stop. Then there's Thor. Then there's Captain America. And they're all there saying, Magneto, we've got you. Don't fight. You're done. So he's about to be taken with them, and Wolverine shows up with the X-Men, says, hey, if you've got a problem with Magneto, you have a problem with the X-Men. So the X-Men are there with the Avengers saying, you're not going to take Magneto. And guess who else shows up? The Soviet, let's see, what was their name? Really quick. The Soviet dudes, I explained them. The Soviet dudes and the Crimson Typhoon, they show up saying Magneto is ours. And that's where number one leaves off. We don't know why Magneto is pulling these asteroids. We don't know if it is Magneto that's pulling the asteroids. All we know is everybody is after Magneto. This was a little bit of a longer one. That's why I was a little bit nervous to make sure I can get the story out in full. And I really enjoyed this read. It really felt like I was reading a movie. It wasn't confusing. Some of the characters were obviously referenced from comics that I haven't read, but I was still able to really follow the story and enjoy it. So in number 2, we're going to find out why what Magneto's up to, if he's still a threat, and we're going to find out what the Avengers want with Magneto and also the Soviets. So stay tuned for the next Comics Off My Wall. This has been Jake from my channel, Ashley Jake. Please like and subscribe and look forward to more comics.